This is page 22 in the purple book, Chinese Serenade. Now we're getting into something that I think is a lot of fun. They're called grace notes. And grace notes are played very quickly. See how they're written here? They're, they're right, very small and usually tied to another note. And they're played very quickly, almost as fast as you can, but as two separate sounds. In some kinds of music and in other music, it's played at what they call a crush note. Now, I had never heard of that until I read that on this page. So let's read what the box says at the top of the page. Okay, if you can read it in your book, it's going to be kind of hard to see in here. It says grace notes. A grace note, and it looks like an eighth note with a line through it, is played in two ways depending on the style of music. In lively rhythmic pieces, play them as crush notes. That is, strike the grace note and the principal note exactly together, then release the grace note and keep holding the principal note. The composer Franz Liszt recommended this style of grace note playing. Well, I'll tell you the truth, I had never heard of that and had never played grace notes that way, but I guess it's a good idea. Maybe we can do it both ways. In point two, in slow and melodic pieces, play the grace notes separately just ahead of the principal note. The two notes are played one right after the other with a small accent on the principal note. The principal note is played on the beat. Now that's how I know how to play grace notes. And I had never played them any other way. But I guess there are two ways, and it's probably not a bad idea to practice both styles. All right, so now if we look at the music, we see right here, and we get grace notes in every measure. Notice how they look like an eighth note, but they got a little line through them, and they're tied, well, not tied, but there's a slur between the grace note and the principal note. Now, when we would play this, we would strike this and then count one, strike this and then count two. These are played very, very fast. They're almost as fast as you can play them, but they are two separate sounds in the way I would play them. This is a relatively difficult piece, so we're going to take our time and go over both the right hand and the left hand. And notice on the very last measure, the very last note is an E, but it has an 8 VA over it, so put that up one octave higher.